Welcome back, and everyone. We are joined by Brandon Hay, who is the Nutrition Manager for St. Joseph Healthcare. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me again.
So National Nutrition Month, in our day-to-day, maybe folks aren't thinking as much about what they're eating as they should because it's about convenience and being overscheduled and being super busy. But it is something important to think about because, what fuels us fuels our lifestyle too.
Exactly. You wouldn't put water in your gas tank.
Right. At least it's ill-advised. So the geography of the grocery store plays a bigger role than people might think. And so talk about the keys to finding the most nutritious items in the grocery store and how maybe you need to sort of reorient your thinking when you walk in.
Sure. There is a roadmap to a grocery store, and 80 to 90% of the most nutritious foods are around the perimeter. If you think about how a grocery store, you have a door that goes in and you work all the way around and then out. So you've got that circle there. And the key is to kind of stay on the outside of the circle. You've got your fruits and vegetables there, typically when you walk in. After that, you've got, like fresh seafood, fresh meats. Then you go down to your eggs, dairy. That's where almost all of the nutritious stuff is. It doesn't mean that there are not things that are nutritious on the inside.
Right. So you kind of make the nutrition circle, if you will, but then if you do delve into those center aisles, we know ultra-processed foods are just not great for us, but what are some of the things in the center aisles that should be fueling us?
So the dried beans are an absolute powerhouse. That's one of the most nutrient-dense things that you can eat. So those, your canned seafoods, like canned fish, tuna, salmon, those are great, as well as your whole grain products.
Okay. We talk a lot about everything in moderation, and we hear that euphemism a lot. Do you feel like that's valid? Is it everything in moderation, or are there things we just should not go near?
So I like to think of it as two different ways of eating. There is eating for health, eating for, nourishment, and then there's recreational eating. And there's absolutely a place for both of those things.
Okay.
So instead of me just saying in moderation, don't eat cake, all days of the week. But if you have a day that you want to eat it, that's fine. Think of it as recreational eating. And people will say like, a cheat day.
Yeah.
It's not cheating. If you say cheating,
you stigmatize it.
Exactly. Exactly. It makes you think you're doing a bad thing to yourself.
Yeah.
You're not. Just eat for nutrition most of the time, but save time for recreation.
People talk about the food, the food pyramid, or the food triangles. So you sort of flip it upside down. So make most of your eating nutritional eating, and then that little bit at the bottom of recreational eating, where if you're going to have an Oreo, have a couple, maybe like once or twice a week.
And make sure it's at least double stuffed. Mega stuffed is better.
Noted. I think that's going to be everybody's major takeaway.
That's good.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for shedding some light on this. When you walk into the grocery store, think about the geography of it and how that should influence your shopping. All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, folks, we'll be right back with the extended forecast.